Hey guys, it's Chandler, lead mechanic here at Utah Trikes. I'm going to show you guys how to size your boom and adjust the chain accordingly. Here I have a couple items that you may need, along with the tools that I would recommend any trike owner get. We have some extra chain if you need to make the boom longer, master links to add the extra chain, a multi-tool, a cable cutter that also has a crimper, chain breaker, and chain pliers. So first I'm going to show you how to shorten it up. Maybe you have a friend you're going to let ride your trike, or you've been riding it for a while and you decide that you want to shorten it up a little bit. This is how we're going to do it. So I have this trike already set up. I've got the boom set and I've got the chain length set perfectly. This is the angle of the derailleur you're looking for. You're wanting the return chain to be parallel with the incoming chain, so both of these together will be parallel. That's a proper derailleur angle. Now we're going to shorten the chain, or shorten the boom up. Cat trike has quick release on the boom, so it's a lot easier. Some trikes will have bolts. So we'll loosen up the quick release. Now we shorten the boom. You can see the chain is way too long now, and you can see the derailleur angle. Everything is now kicked up backwards. Chain is too long. So now we're going to shorten up the chain. So we're going to start with finding the master link in the chain. So we're just going to pull the chain through until we find where that master link is. And here's the master link. So here, if you take your chain pliers and put it on either side of the master link, you squeeze the pliers closed and it'll open up the master link. Now we can pull the master link off. So before I set up the chain with the master links, you want to make sure that the chain is wrapped around the smallest gear on the rear and the smallest gear on the front. If you have a motor or a pinion, you'll only have a single chainring in the front. That's considered the smallest chainring in the front because it's the only chainring in the front. Now we're going to pull the chain down and extend the derailleur. And I'm eyeballing here. This is where our master link is going to go. So I'm looking at this chain link here as the master link. And I'm just going to let the chain go up to the angle that we want it. So we got right there. So this right here is going to be where my master link goes. So we're going to want to cut everything out on this link. So we're going to take the chain breaker and set it in there. And we're going to break all the links off from this link down. So we're going to use the chain breaker here to push that pin out. Now that we have that pin out, now you want to make sure that you have both of these matching so you can put the master link on. So you have a master link on the inside of the chain and one on the outside of the chain. And you're going to line them up with the slot. And now you can take your chain pliers again on either side of the master link and pull it open, and that'll lock it open. Now you can see the derailleur angle matches before we push the boom in. So now we'll put the master links in, one on the inside, one on the outside of the chain. And then you connect them together in the little slot. And now you take your chain pliers on either side of the master link, open it up to click it in place. Maybe you want to make it longer now. You've been riding it, you feel like it's too short, or you're going to have a friend ride it and they're a lot taller than you and they have a longer X seam. Now we're going to make it longer. So we'll pull the boom out to where we want it. Lock the quick release or the bolts if you have them. Now you can see that we made the boom longer. The chain is way too short. The angle of the derailleur is way too far forward. We're not going to be able to shift through the gears because the derailleur is fully extended. So the same thing as before, we're gonna find the master link. So you find your master link, same thing as before, either side of the master link to open it up. And now we're gonna take a length of chain. You need to make sure that both of these ends match as well, because we're gonna connect that with one master link. Make sure that you have enough extra chain, more than you think you need. Connect that. Extend the derailleur. Eyeball where your master link's gonna go. We're just gonna work it down until we get the proper angle. So right there is where we're gonna cut it. So we're gonna cut all the links off from this link down. And now since we're adding more chain, you're gonna need more master links. So I've got a couple pairs here. Same thing as before, one on the inside, one on the outside. Line them up. And then click them together. And now you can see we've got the proper angle for the longer boom. If this seems like a lot of work for you guys and you don't want to do it, I've got an option here for you. This is a chain tensioner. It mounts to the front of your trike on the boom. When you make the boom longer, it'll add chain. When you make the boom shorter, it'll take up the slack in the chain, so you don't have to change the size of the chain. We can put this on many trikes. You'll have to ask your salesman about specific trikes so we can put it on. I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed for you. Installed. Now that we have it installed, I have the boom pushed all the way in, so if I pull it out, you can see how it takes up all the slack, and the derailleur angle is still the same. If I push it in, you can see derailleur angle still the same. So you can move this boom in and out as much as you like. So if you have any questions about how this is done, or you need some more advice on how to do it, leave us a like, comment, subscribe, shoot me an email. My name's Chandler, I'm the lead guy. I'll answer your emails. I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed for you guys. So we're just gonna pull the chain through until we find where that master link is. I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed for you guys. Installed.